Everyone, good afternoon. I'm Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Marcus Bagwell. We wanted to give you an online digital stream weather update, 3 o'clock here on this Monday, and we're getting set for what could potentially be a very long afternoon into the evening, and then continuing with the threat even into the overnight hours. We are watching storms that are beginning to increase in their coverage now across portions of central Texas, pretty much moving from College Station up to the north and to the northwest. We'll be watching East Texas, of course, very, very closely. So our severe weather alert continues for this day, and it will actually continue really into tomorrow morning because of the risk of flash flooding across our southern counties. So we'll be spending some time talking about that as well. First of all, a look outside. It's been mainly cloudy all day. There have been some attempts at peaks of sunshine for us here in the area, but not seeing any full-on sunshine. And so we're going to take that to our advantage. The sunshine today certainly helped not making things worse than what it potentially could be. However, you see the camera that's shaking right here behind me. Yeah, the wind energy plus the low-level moisture is going to be supportive enough for some stronger winds. From that vantage point in Tyler, we take you to our long view camera, and you can notice here that we're dealing with a mainly cloudy sky. Yeah, there's still a breeze coming down as well. The wind is stronger back out to the west. However, a sustained wind right now from the East Texas Regional Airport at 18 and an air temperature at 66 degrees. Other temperatures right now, upper 60s. We've got some spots into the low 70s, but you can notice that we are blanketed with cloud cover area wide. Had a couple of thunderstorms earlier today. Carson was tracking those at midday on East Texas Live. Those storms were mainly capable of some heavy rain, some small hail and lightning, but those have all moved off to the north and to the northeast. Here's our main area that we're going to watch for closely. That's going to be back from near Rockwall County, coming all the way down into portions of Limestone County at this current time. These storms are moving to the east and to the northeast, and it appears in a more favorable environment for the risk of stronger to severe storms. Rich low-level moisture has streamed in. We've got lower to mid-60 dew points. This 70 dew point in Crockett, I think, maybe just a little bit high, but it does show just how rich the moisture is that's fueling in, coming in from the south and from the southeast. So ample moisture that's in play. We've got strong winds here at the surface out of the southeast direction, and then they turn with height and then increase in speed. So you're generating spin already in the atmosphere, even without the presence of precipitation. So that means it's not going to take much for us to see stronger to severe storms develop in the area as we go through with time. So that's what we're going to be looking for now. I'm going to step off for a second, switch over to our radar perspective and just give you a closer look at what we are seeing here at this current point. Before I show you the radar, I want to show you the weather alerts that we have in play at this current moment. Right now, there is no weather watch in East Texas, but tornado watch, it's forthcoming, and it's forthcoming probably for a good portion of the area, especially west of Highway 69. I think we're going to have several counties along Highway 69 included. Not too convinced that this watch is going to be farther to the east at this current point, but where we have some of the greatest moisture, some of the greatest low-level spin in the atmosphere, that's where we're going to see that. So as soon as that watch comes out, I will come back to this graphic and I will show you who are the counties that are going to be under that weather watch. Now, here's the outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, and it has been a long time. The last time we had a moderate risk in East Texas, you have to go back to January of 2020. That was the last time we had a moderate risk, it appears, anywhere in our area. So this has been at least 2 years since we've had this moderate risk in place. That is now from just south of Athens, coming all the way back into Trinity County. I can guarantee you, Anderson, Houston, Trinity, Cherokee, you're going to be in this tornado watch. As far as other counties, we'll have to wait and see, but very certain if you put out a moderate risk for this type of weather, you're likely going to see that tornado watch that is in effect. It does include portions of Angelina, Nacogdoches County, Rusk, Smith, Henderson County, as I mentioned. But as talking about this a little bit more, what do these risks actually mean? Well, I want to show you that, give you a quick explainer on understanding what these risks actually mean, and I think this will help you see it a little bit more. I'll share this sometimes on social media when we're talking about the risks. So Main areas are level 3 and level 4. When you're talking about a level 3, numerous severe storms are possible. Okay, what this will tell us is that we will anticipate some severe thunderstorms. The numerous is what's still in question at that time. When you get into a moderate risk, widespread severe weather appears likely, and we're on the tail end of that moderate risk. So areas back in central Texas, down near the Brazos Valley, a likely chance that they're going to see some of these severe thunderstorms. And what we're looking at are potentially long-lived and widespread and intense type of thunderstorms that will move through. And the enhanced risk, they're more persistent, so we definitely expect some more robust thunderstorms. Some of them will be widespread and a few perhaps in the intense category. And we do not have a high risk. I did not look up when the last time we had that high risk that was in play. But it's certainly something that we will need to continue to watch for very closely. Okay, let me go back to this outlook one more time. I want to break it down a little bit more. Okay, so this is the general outlook for everybody. Let's go a bit closer. Tornado probability. Okay, we've got areas in brown representing a 5% chance, the majority of the area at least in a 10% chance, and we've got a 15% chance of a tornado that could form back in the areas of red. So that's the tornado probability. Now, let me go a bit further to explain it a bit more carefully. Potential significant tornadoes. That's talking about an EF2 or higher tornado. And you'll see here that most of the area is in that. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to take where we saw that red and say that would probably be a more greater potential. Okay, as you go farther out, that threat may begin to decrease just a bit more. But this is going to be the region where we will probably see some rotating thunderstorms, and the potential is there. That's the key right now. Potential that we could see some significant tornadoes and tornadoes in general here in East Texas. All right, from there, let me take you over to the radar. This is the area that we're watching. Now, they just put out a tornado warning for the storm that's going to be up near the Graham area. These storms right now are moving to the north and to the northeast, so northwest of the Metroplex. These are the ones we are not concerned about at this time. The ones that we are going to be concerned about are going to be the ones that are starting to develop here, okay? And if you just watch how some of these, and look at how they look, the shape in which they are developing. They're getting this odd shape, the comma-like shape on the back end of these storms. That is showing us that the wind energy that is picking up into these thunderstorms are starting in the southeast direction, allowing them to begin to rotate at the very, very least on a minimal scale. But as that wind picks up, you get stronger winds in the mid and the upper levels of the atmosphere. That wind will begin to turn a bit more, and that's where the concern will begin to lie. So let's go in a bit closer. Let me put a pause here on the radar. Again, outside of East Texas right now, we're okay at this current moment. It's everything that is out just to our west, but it's hugging very close to Henderson County, for example, Anderson County. It'll get close to Van Zandt County also as well. Let's go in, for example, on this particular storm that's in Kaufman County. Give you a closer look here. So this storm moving up toward Kaufman. If you know anybody that's traveling on 20, maybe heading out of the Metroplex or going toward, they're about to run into this thunderstorm maybe within the next 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, let's check on the inside of this storm and see what is taking place at the current moment. Okay, so right now, it looks like it's just mainly just some gusty winds. We're not finding any sort of rotational winds at this moment. The radar site I had it on there for a moment was Granger, and it's certainly not giving us anything that would be of concern. But this will be the region that we'll have to watch in situations like this. We'll see where this storm continues to do with time. Let's go a little bit more farther back to the south and then to the southwest. We had a storm that was in Milam County near Cameron and Rockdale. This was at the 2 o'clock hour, showed some low-level rotation, but just have not seen any of that begin to materialize at this point. And then you work your way back down into southern central Texas, or east central Texas, I should say, moving toward the Brazos Valley. Notice here near the Mejia area at this current moment. This will be in Limestone County here, some heavier downpours that are coming through. It does not appear any of these at this moment are exhibiting signs of rotation either at this current time. But with time, we are anticipating some greater lift in the atmosphere and for us to see some of these storms develop. Now, I'll come back over to East Texas just so you can kind of see what's happening here in our area. And you'll notice that for now, things are okay. A lot of cloud cover, windy, warm, and humid, but outside of some very light sprinkles, that is just about it here at the current moment. But we will be watching things expect to intensify as we go through with time. Let's take you over to Futurecast. Let's walk you through what we're looking at. Now, the model here that we're using is the HRRR. Okay, long fancy term. We think the model here is handling things a little bit better than what you may see on our East Texas Storm Team app. Okay, we'll call that one the KETK model, but this is the HRRR model. And you notice how, for the most part, 3 o'clock, it's handling things okay. Let's put it into motion here. You can notice as we get toward 4 o'clock, we'll keep an eye on some of these storms in our west areas. Okay, as these storms are moving off to the north and to the northeast. There's a few more that begin to develop. Again, most of these are going to stay west of the Tyler-Jacksonville area, probably initially to start. But as we get into the evening, we'll start to see a few more of these storms move in. We could have some even lift more due south and come right out of the Gulf of Mexico moisture and come up into our area. Still a few more of these individual storms that are passing through as well. Now, as we get closer to 8, 9 o'clock, yeah, the risk for severe thunderstorms, we're also in nighttime at this point too, will begin to increase more and more. So there will be a greater concern here for rotating thunderstorms. You can see some of those here that are working their way through. We've got several of those individual storms, and I would expect as we get later into the evening, perhaps a new watch will come farther downstream for other portions of East Texas. There's 9 o'clock, more widespread thunderstorms, some embedded supercells capable of those wind gusts, maybe some hail. We can't rule that out either. And then the risk for an isolated tornado or two is possible. Getting into the late evening hours, heaviest storms will begin to push away. But we've got another batch that begins to develop back to the southwest and still looking at some more stronger storms in an area that hasn't been touched, essentially in deep East Texas. So we could still have a few more heavier storms that'll pass through. And as we go into the overnight, rain will gradually work its way east and to the southeast, and we will probably begin to see a heavy rain threat set up, maybe from our Arklatex counties coming all the way back down to Nacogdoches, back into Trinity counties. Some flash flooding potential certainly will remain there, and then that threat will continue to shift off to the east moving into tomorrow morning. But this is still a great concern too. Flash flooding potentially, along with very heavy rain, right as we're heading back to school and work for Tuesday morning, we could really have some big problems. That's why we're already starting to see some delays for your Tuesday morning. We have those on the KETK app and at KETK and Fox51.com because of the potential of some heavier rainfall that may begin to move through. So this will be the area that we'll definitely need to watch for the flash flooding threat as we go into the rest of tonight and going into early tomorrow morning. But in the short term, it's really going to be about some of the storms that are back out to the west at this time. None of these are severe at the moment, but we will need to watch for them very closely. And I'll switch back over to the Fort Worth radar site just so you can see some of those storms. And let's put the motion back on here once again. And you can see how those are moving from the southwest heading to the north and to the northeast. Looks like the watch is out. Is that right, Andrew? Yes. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and show you that watch. Andrew's gonna post that. You'll see it pop up here. I'm gonna go ahead and put our weather ticker on the air. So for those of you that may have us on maybe watching us here on the app, and then have your TV on KETK and Fox 51, you should see that. You see our severe weather ticker pop up here in just a moment, representing this tornado watch. Now, this watch only includes 4 counties. Only includes 4 counties, so it must be in general for now based off of how we're seeing the storms move at this current time. But that doesn't mean other counties cannot be added as we go into the evening. So I'll step back on screen here in just a moment, and we'll update you on those. Okay. All right, so these are the 4 counties that you have here: Rains, Van Zant, Henderson, and Anderson County. Right now, Houston and Trinity County are not included in that watch. And as Andrew mentioned, you may not have heard him, till 10 o'clock tonight. 10 o'clock tonight. So that's just the beginning of probably what we'll anticipate some additional weather watches to come our way. But again, Rains, Van Zant, Henderson, Anderson County. This is until 10 o'clock. This isn't a PDS watch, is it? It is just a general watch. Okay. Okay, that's okay. All right, no problem. PDS, you're probably wondering what that is. We have a lot of acronyms in the Storm Center. PDS means particularly dangerous situation, where we would look at potentially long track tornadoes. It does not appear that would be the case with this particular watch. So this is a normal severe thunderstorm watch, for a lack of better term. A normal severe thunderstorm watch. However, as we showed you with the SPC outlook graphics and whatnot, we still have that risk for us to see a severe storm that could produce a potentially long track tornado. So that's what we'll have to watch for. Again, these 4 counties under that right now. A little surprised that Cherokee County wasn't included in that, and Houston and Trinity County. We're just talking here, conversing. Surprised that these 3 counties back to the southwest were not included. However, it just may take some time for that to happen. All right. So the key thing for us to do now is to prepare. We have a watch out in place. Okay. If you watched our severe weather special on Saturday on Fox 51 or last Tuesday on KETK, Carson gave a great analogy there explaining what a watch and a warning meant. Using the example of tacos, you have all your ingredients together. Okay, that's the watch. Okay, you have all your ingredients ready to make the taco, and then the taco warning is when you actually have all the taco together, and that means the conditions in a warning. The conditions are potentially there for a rotating storm, or it's a confirmed storm that has rotation or a tornado on the ground. So watch essentially means prepare, and that's what we need to do now. Not just if you're in the red, okay? Anywhere in East Texas, you need to be prepared for wind gusts, the potential for hail, potential for tornadoes, heavy rain that could lead to flash flooding, okay? A warning means you need to take that plan and you need to put it into action right away. That means getting to the most interior room of your home, especially for a severe thunderstorm or a tornado warning, away from all the outer walls. You want to cover your head. You want to make sure you have everything set up and ready to go. Before I came into work, spent time with the kids and my wife, Cassie. We got everything together that we needed. Flashlights, the NOAA weather radio, put new batteries in there. Okay, charged up some of the extra devices to help keep the kids satisfied with their while watching some of their shows that are already downloaded to their device in case we lose the internet and whatnot. I mentioned flashlights already. All those things are great tools to have, and it's all located in the bathroom for us. That's the most centrally located area in our house. It's away from all outer walls and windows. So they're ready to go. Okay, so it's a good idea for you to prepare for that as well. So those are the 4 counties. We're not going to see any more issued anytime soon. I think it's going to take a couple of hours before we see any sort of next weather watch to come out. But based off of what we're seeing here on the radar, it appears to make sense that we're starting to see these thunderstorms, and the way that they're moving right now, more so from the south, heading more so due north, that we could see the potential of some rotating thunderstorms in this general region, and potentially even more to develop back in sections of central Texas as well. Let me go back in one more time here, and then we'll end our digital live stream. Okay, we want to take a look and see if we're finding any sort of rotation inside of any of these storms, and right now we don't. The one that's of bigger note, of bigger interest, would be this one here moving through Kaufman County, through the city of Kaufman. It has a hook here on the backside, but it does not appear that we have any sort of rotation happening there at this point. But it is moving up toward Terrell and back toward the Mesquite area, and that will continue to move up toward portions of Hunt County, Rockwall County as well. For East Texas, we will watch for some of these showers that may develop too. Back down into Anderson County, we'll see how the atmosphere continues to work at this moment, but most of them at this current time are going to be back into portions of central Texas, and they'll continue to move to the north and to the northeast. Got a severe storm out near the Graham area, north of Eastland, where they've been dealing with some of the most intense wildfires that they have seen in quite a while, all from these thunderstorms that we had on Thursday. So bigger concern here. They didn't get much severe weather there on Thursday, but certainly had some strong winds, and it was enough to set an ember off and cause a lot of problems there. But there you can notice the storm back in Graham, not just producing hail, but potentially could produce a tornado there at this moment also. So let me show you the severe threats, and then we'll end our stream here, and we're going to get ready for the 4 o'clock news, which will have every stream. Every newscast streamed on the KETK app, so you'll be able to see that as we go through the evening. Severe threats. Okay, here they are. No change with these from what Andrew and from what Carson had from over the weekend. We've got wind gusts, tornadoes, heavy rain, medium to high category, and then the hail threat appears to be on the medium side at this point. I want you to take these top 3 here very seriously, especially tonight. Heavy rain, flash flooding, not able to see water of unknown depth. You got to be really careful at night. So if you are having to be out in the overnight hours, we have a greater concern for some flash flooding to occur, especially in our east and southeast counties where a flood watch is in effect. We have the potential to see in excess of 3 to 6 inches across areas, say from about Highway 79 all the way to the south and near the Louisiana border, from perhaps about Harrison County coming all the way down to Toledo Bend. We could see a lot of water in a short period of time develop there. But these are our current threats that we are dealing with. All right, we will see you at 4 o'clock on KETK. We'll be tracking the showers here very carefully. If we get anything new, of course, we'll come on the air to let you know, and we'll be right here even on our digital stream probably later on this evening as we track some additional thunderstorms that will move into our area. Thanks for taking time to join us here, and we'll see you at the top of the hour at 4.